come on here and read the book of Ruth. I know it's been a few days. We read chapter 1. Now we're going to read chapter 2. Then I want y'all to know this. It's a fun fact. Do y'all know who Boaz's mama was? Well, if you don't know, I'll let you know. She's Rahab. Rahab is the one that helped the Israelites when they went into that city to get everybody. She was the one that hid the men in her home. But she did have a little transaction going on. She wanted them not to kill her. Well, it was a good thing that everything worked in her favor, because now we have Boaz, who is in the story and in the process of how we get to Jesus, like the lineage of going towards Jesus. Okay, so I'm gonna read chapter 2. That's just a fun fact. Y'all read about it. It says, and I'm reading out my Amplified Bible. Okay, Ruth gleans in Boaz's field. Okay, now Naomi had a relative of her husband, a man of great wealth and influence from the family of Elimelech, whose name was Boaz. And Ruth the Moabitess said to Naomi, please let me go to the field and glean among the ears of grain after one of the reapers, in whose sight I may find favor. Naomi said to her, go, my daughter. So Ruth went and picked up the leftover grain in a field after the reapers, and she happened to stop at a plot of land belonging to Boaz, who was of the family of Elimelech. As you can see, there's a correlation here. He was related to her father-in-law, so he was related to her husband. So back in the day, that was a thing, like being in tune with your family, especially your husband's family. Especially like if something happened to your husband, it was a norm to marry somebody within the family. Okay. It was then that Boaz came back from Bethlehem and said to the reapers, the Lord be with you. And they answered him, the Lord bless you. Then Boaz said to his servant who was in charge of the reapers, whose young woman is this? So she was noticed. Boaz noticed her from afar, guys. All right, y'all follow? Okay. The servant in charge of the reapers answered, she is the young Moabite woman who came back with Naomi from the country of Moab. Obviously, word got around. Good morning. Word got around, and people knew about Naomi coming back to her hometown and her coming with her I'm reading the book of Ruth, Miguel, and good morning. We find out that she came back with her daughter. After the death of her husband and her two sons, she came back with her daughter-in-law, Ruth, okay? And it says, the servant in charge of the reapers answered, she is the young Moabite woman who came back with Naomi from the country of Moab. And she said, please let me glean and gather after the reapers among the sheaves. So she came and has continued gathering the grain from early morning until now, except when she sat. That means she rested a little bit. For a little while in the field house. Then Boaz said to Ruth, listen carefully, my daughter. Do not go to glean in another field or leave this one, but stay here close by my maids. So he told her to be careful, stay over here. I could protect you over here. So stay close over here by the maids. That's your best bet, okay? Find where I left off. Watch which field they reap and follow behind them. I have commanded the servants not to touch you, okay? And when you are thirsty, go to the water jars and drink from what the servants draw. Then she kneeled face downward, bowing to the ground, and said to him, why have I found favor in your eyes, and you should notice me when I'm a foreigner? She's a Moabite. You know, they didn't really, intertwine with Moabite people. It's like an interracial marriage for them. So it was not something that they heavily liked, but that's how God works. That's how favor works. Favor ain't fair, okay? Boaz answered her, I have been made fully aware of everything that you have done for your mother-in-law since the death of your husband, and how you have left your father and mother, the land of your birth, and have come to a people that you did not know before me. You know, when you go to a new place, you're shy, and you tend to get kind of introverted, you don't know the people, so you don't kind of want to go anywhere you don't know people. You would rather go somewhere where you know the people. It's kind of like when you get married and like you and your husband move away. It's hard for you because you know the people in the city that you're in the state you're in, your mama, your family, everybody is there. So it's a lot when you move away from something that you know. But she was intent on being with her mother-in-law and not leaving her alone. Like risking everything that she knows, everything that she worshiped to stay with her mother-in-law. And my Lord, did that bless her. Okay. And she said, have you left your father and mother in the land of your birth and have come to people that you did not know before? May the Lord repay you for your kindness. And may your reward be full from the Lord, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have come to take refuge. Then she said, let me find favor in your sight, my Lord, for you have comforted me and have spoken kindly to your maidservant, though I am not as one of your maidservants. At mealtime, Boaz said to her, come over here and eat some bread and dip your bread in the vinegar. So she sat beside the reapers, and he served her roasted grain. And she ate until she was satisfied. And she had some left over for who? Naomi. When she got up to glean, Boaz ordered his servants, let her glean even among the sheaves and do not insult her. Okay. Also, you shall purposely pull out for her some stalks. So some of that work she wasn't even having to do. He was telling them to pull it out so she could just pick it up. Wow. And leave them so that she may collect them, and do not rebuke her. So she gleaned in the field until evening. Then she beat out what she had gleaned, and it was about an ephah of barley. She picked it up and went into the city, and her mother-in-law saw what she had gleaned. Ruth also took out and gave to Naomi what she had saved after she had eaten and was satisfied. Her mother-in-law said to her, where did you glean today? Where did you work? Blessed be the man who took notice of you. So she told her mother-in-law with whom she had worked and said, the name of the man with whom I work today is Boaz. Naomi said to her daughter-in-law, may he be blessed of the Lord, who has not ceased his kindness to the living and to the dead. Again, Naomi said to her, the man is one of our closest relatives, one who has the right to redeem us. The Ruth and the Moabitess said, he also said to me, stay close to my servants until they have harvested my entire crop. Naomi said to Ruth, it is good, my daughter, for you to go out to work with his maids so that others do not insult you in another field. So she stayed close to the maids of Boaz, gleaning until the end of the barley and wheat harvest, and she lived with her mother-in-law. That is the end of chapter 2. What I want y'all to know is sometimes you may not always understand things in life, but what I will say is to make sure that you stand on the faith in the Lord. My mentor said yesterday as he was doing Bible study, there's goodness in God. God is always going to be good. Nothing's ever going to come from him void. Nothing's ever going to come bad from him. So everything within him is good. So if you stand on his word, good things can happen. Even when you think bad things are happening. If you keep the faith in God, not your faith, not what you believe, not what you think, but have your faith in his word, you would succeed. Even when the human mind does not understand, because the Bible does speak that our thoughts are not his thoughts. So there's no way we're going to understand everything. There's no way we're going to think like God. God gives us a speckle, a little sprinkle of smarts and wisdom on this earth, but nothing compared to the Creator. I hope y'all have a blessed day. I hope you have a blessed work day. Your kids have an awesome day. And if you're fighting or battling depression or anything, I pray that God touches and heals you, and that your faith is in him, that you will be healed, even if it's not today. It does say that joy comes in the morning. Which morning, it doesn't say, but a morning will come. Y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.